We are back on our NFL Draft YouTube channel, made possible today by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping on all their men's grooming products when you use promo code CHAT over at manscaped.com/chat. ESPN has a new 2024 NFL mock draft. We're going to break it down, and if you want even more videos, then share this one. That way I can show the bosses, see, you guys do want more NFL draft coverage, even if it is only July and there's not that much going on. But hey, new ESPN mock draft, perfect time to get things rolling again. So share that video, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, Threads, wherever. Share it for me right now. We'll go pick by pick. Do not blame me for where your team is drafting, but of course you can still complain in the comments section. Arizona at number 1 overall. That is Caleb Williams. Whoever has that number 1 overall pick, I feel very confident saying they will be taking Caleb Williams. Now, look, maybe Drake Maye really impresses and we do the whole Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson debate, which hopefully goes better for the other QB this time around. I'm a big fan of Caleb Williams. Worthy number 1 overall pick. He's been really impressive at Oklahoma and at USC. I will say this. This whole he's Patrick Mahomes isn't right. You are banned from Patrick Mahomes comparisons. The out-of-structure stuff might look like it a little bit, but they don't play that similarly, frankly, and it sets up unrealistic expectations. So if we're saying he's Patrick Mahomes 2.0, you're overrating him. You're setting up unrealistic expectations. Overall, though, I think he's mostly properly rated. What do you guys think? In general, is Caleb Williams overrated? Y for yes or N for no? Arizona back-to-back picks here, this one via the Houston Texans. So they move on from Kyler Murray in theory, and they get Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. out of Ohio State. It's a really fun 1-2 punch for Arizona. This pick, by the way, from Houston, which would be a big get for Arizona. Tampa at number 3, yeah, that means they're going quarterback. It means the Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask situation did not pan out very well. Drake Maye, who I am a big fan of, he gives me some Justin Herbert vibes, maybe not quite the same instant impactor as good, but I'm a big fan of what Maye brings to a team. He'd be a fantastic top 5 pick. One of my favorite prospects that I thought was going to go pro this year, Fashanu out of Penn State. I think he would have been the first tackle taken had he turned pro. He's still super young, going back to Happy Valley for one more year. Colts picking at number 4. There's your bookend left tackle who we had mocked Fashanu to Indy several times leading up to him returning to Penn State this past year. Number 5, another player who could have gone pro and probably would have been a pretty early pick. That's Jared Verse out of FSU. The Rams take him at number 5. They are retooling, resetting that defense. Like that fit a lot for the very talented pass rusher. J.C. Latham out of Alabama. Now, in theory, Angelo can play left tackle. Peter Skronsky stays at left guard. And with Nicholas Petit-Frere suspended for gambling violations, Latham plugs in at right tackle. I think he's having a fantastic year. Just got to cut down the penalties a little bit. Last year's class, not the best for offensive linemen, relatively speaking. This year's class, early results, really good. Joe Alt at Notre Dame. You got 3 players who could be a first-round top tackle taken in a lot of different classes. Joe Alt for Green Bay. I think there is your potential David Bakhtiari replacement. Our first, I think, really controversial pick. Quinn Ewers out of Texas. The highlight reel plays are really good. When he came back from that shoulder injury he suffered against Alabama, didn't quite look the same. And heck, maybe he beats Alabama if he doesn't get hurt in that matchup. Good coach in Steve Sarkisian for quarterback development, at least. I'm not a big fan of Sam Howell as a franchise guy. If Ewers takes a step forward, this is worth it. But this is a projection first-round pick, not where he currently is. Today's pin comment. How many quarterbacks go in round 1 of the 2024 NFL Draft? The ad comes here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Go get those predictions. And I will say, for this mock draft from ESPN, 3 QBs. That was it. Number 9, Kool-Aid McKinstry. Elite name alert. Now, if you're picking at number 9, you might need a quarterback. But corner, I think, is the biggest need right now for the Las Vegas Raiders. I think McKinstry is your next great Alabama corner. And Dallas Turner, another fantastic name, is the next great Alabama edge rusher. The Bears have a desperate need for a pass rusher. I think Turner, maybe more so than Jared Verse, could end up being the first pass rusher taken in this year's class. Next up, the other Ohio State receiver, Emeka Egbuka, to the Chicago Bears. We'll see what happens with Chase Claypool. You do DJ Moore. You spend some draft picks. I'm not sure receiver is the single biggest need, but hey, you know what? Ibuka's a good fit for a Bears offense that will want to maximize Justin Fields. The Patriots at 12, and doesn't this feel like a very Patriots draft pick? Brock Bowers, who is up there in terms of, Kyle Pitts level prospect at tight end. A lot of expectations around him. Hunter Henry and Mike Gesicki are in the final years of their deals. Bowers in New England somehow just feels right. Now, if you haven't already heard, it is smooth sack summer. So when you're playing in the sun, make sure you are escaped from pubes to bum. Keep your balls cool and fresh this hot summer with Manscaped. The Lawnmower 4.0, part of the Performance Package 4.0. The best men's grooming products out there. They're giving you 20% off and free shipping when you use promo code CHAT, that's CHAT, at manscaped.com/chat. The Lawnmower 4.0 is the best in below the waist, although you can use it for your chest as needed if you need to. The boxers, which producer Chris is wearing right now. So he told me he did not show or look. That's an HR violation. But 20% off and free shipping on the fantastic Performance Package 4.0. Comfortable boxers, ball toner, ball conditioner, and the Weed Whacker 2.0 if you got some extra hair in your ears or nose, or maybe your dad needs it as a gift as well. Get 20% off and free shipping with code CHAT over at manscaped.com/chat. 20% off and free shipping with that code and the URL. Links in the comment section and the description of today's show. Fun pick here at number 13 overall, Braylon Trice, maybe the least known player since he plays for the Huskies. And, well, we do know, unfortunately, that the West Coast doesn't get as much attention there. But Trice had a ton of pressures last year. Falcons could use some more pass rush help if they don't. Some guys can take a step forward this year at least. Trice is a good fit. Mason Smith out of LSU. This one, again, is a projection pick in terms of what he could become. He tore his ACL last year, didn't play very much, but he's got a great size-speed combo. It's does he take that next step forward in 2023? The Giants at number 15. Rome Odunze, another Washington Husky, as they've got some good players this year, the Huskies do. Look, the Giants still have some question marks at wide receiver. 6'3", 200 pounds, listed weight right there. He went for over 1,000 yards last season. Maybe that's a legitimate wide receiver one for the Giants. Denver just loves adding pass rushers. Now, JT Tuimoloau hasn't played a ton or been super productive so far, but that Penn State game where he had the very rare 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, I think a forced fumble mixed in there as well, that's really good production. So, in theory, breakout year coming for Tuimoloau. As we get to the Ohio State portion of today's mock draft, apparently, Michael Hall Jr. Again, this is massive projection here. He had 290 snaps all season last year. He was really good in those snaps. They did not trust him as a run stopper. If that gets better, then he'll play more and have a potential big-time breakout year. It's a lot of projection for a part-time player, though, for me to put him in the top 20, but the talent is there. Now, our goal on our NFL Draft channel is 5,000 subs. We are 413 away. So hit that sub button right now, youtube.com/chatNFL for more free NFL Draft videos. More OSU players. I think sometimes the draft community falls in love with OSU guys. I've seen mocks with 8 Ohio State players in round 1. Just not going to happen. But Donovan Jackson is a very quality starting guard, and that is an area of concern for Miami, so I get the mindset there. Drazan Newton out of Illinois, little bit undersized, 6'2", 295, but 14 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks. He'd be a fun fit for a Seattle defensive line that could maybe use one more impact piece. I am a big fan of Christian Mahogany's game. Smells like rich mahogany in the end. At a Boston College, that's a bad joke, but whatever. It's funny. This would be the 3rd Boston College first-round alignment. Chris Lindstrom, Zion Johnson, then Mahogany. Andres Pete, Cesar Ruiz, all going to be free agents, so guard is an area of concern. Another elite name alert, Chop Robinson. What a fantastic name for a pass rusher. There is uncertainty long-term about the Vikings' pass rush, so adding another player in Robinson who had some success as a pass rusher makes a lot of sense for Minnesota. Chris Jenkins out of Michigan. He's a little bit thinner than like a Mozzie Smith. He's about 30-ish pounds lighter, maybe even 40 at 285. Had a good game against OSU, bunch of pressures there, flashed the upside. If you take that next step forward, the Chargers do still need some impact interior linemen. Cameron Kinchins, he had 6 interceptions last year. Simply put, folks, I am a sucker if you're a safety and you make a bunch of plays on the football. I always find that valuable. One important note, by the way, this pick is the Jets pick, technically speaking. Goes to the Packers if Rodgers plays 65% of the snaps, so ESPN's projecting that in terms of this mock draft. Who is your favorite 2024 NFL draft prospect? I think I might go Fashanu. He's not the best player, but I kind of get some Tyron Smith vibes over there, especially if he turned pro this year. He's super young. Now he'll be a little bit older, but still. Favorite 2024 NFL draft prospect? Drop that player name for me in the comments. Another guard in round 1. I wonder if in the end Cooper Beebe from Kansas State ends up being more of a top 50 guy than a top 25 guy. But he's a really good run blocker, and I think would fit well for that Ravens offense. Kalen King, you're going Lions, a corner? Well, yes, because Emmanuel Mosley, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson are all going to be free agents next year. So short term, they're fine. Long term, they do have an area of concern. I do get some, I'll give Jordan Reid credit here because he mentioned this first. A little bit of Denzel Ward vibes there. Not a ton of ball production, although he did have 15 pass breakups, but not that many interceptions. But he does have good man coverage skills. Kamari Lassiter. Oh, look, another Georgia defensive player in round 1. Doesn't that make sense? Corner, beyond Tyson Campbell, Darius Williams is a potential red flag for Jacksonville. I like that fit. Another corner here. We got to run on corners. Go figure. Jason Marshall Jr. This is a Cowboys-ish pick. Stephon Gilmore, final year of his deal. We'll see about Trayvon Diggs getting paid. Length has length. Dan Quinn loves that. Need to see better ball production before I get on board there, though. Jeremiah Trotter. Yes, this is the son of Jeremiah Trotter. Sorry, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., son of Jeremiah Trotter. A lot of production, 8.5 TFLs, 6.5 sacks, linebacker, area of concern for Buffalo potentially. I like that fit for Trotter at the back end of round 1. The Niners, they got a first-round pick again. Kingsley Suamataia out of BYU, the former Oregon player, transferred to BYU. I think he's a really good fit for that zone blocking scheme that the Niners use. We'll see how he fares. Not at Oregon, he's at BYU, still okay. Good fit, though, for the Niners. Since Trent Williams can't play forever, unfortunately. Graham Barton. Jonah Williams might not be back next year. We'll see about Lyle Collins' health long term. But Barton maybe moves inside the guard potentially, but could try him at right tackle first. It's a good fit for the Bengals. Javon Bullard, of course. The Eagles take a Georgia player. And the joke was made by Jordan Reid there, too. Safety, maybe a bit of a question mark there. Maybe this is the long-term Chauncey Gardner Jr. replacement. Big step forward would be needed for Bullard to really be a first-round pick. And there's a lot of projection here, too. Xavier Worthy is talented, and there's a lot of big play ability in his game. I think he'd be a really fun fit in the Chiefs' offense. Still needs a little bit more consistency, but if he has that year 3 breakout, he'll be in the first-round conversation for sure. That is the ESPN mock draft. Who did they leave off of their 2024 NFL mock draft? What player did they just flat-out disrespect? I got 5 names we'll get to here in a second, but I'm waiting from you guys first and foremost. Some other NFL draft prospects here. 2 quarterbacks. J.J. McCarthy, he's got a live arm. Got to be a better consistent passer. Michael Penix is a lefty. Injury red flags, by the way. Don't sleep on Malik Neighbors. He was pretty damn good last year for LSU as a wide receiver. I like Jatavion Sanders, a.k.a. JT Sanders. Not Brock Bowers, but a good tight end prospect, make no mistake. Cooper DeJean, by the way, another Iowa corner who could be drafted fairly early in this upcoming NFL draft.